What is going on, guys? It's Qbeezy here with my next build video, the first one for hunters in Season of the Dawn, and it is a lot of fun. It takes advantage of the artifact mod Solar Plexus, increases damage of all solar melee abilities, gains super energy from performing finishers with a solar subclass equipped. Basically, this build is just a lot of fun. You want to work on throwing your knives as much as possible. Right now, I'm running this with Way of 1,000 Cuts. You can also run a similar build with Top Tree Way of the Outlaw. However, I like Knife Trick. Knife Trick's a lot more fun to me personally. Also pairing that with playing with fire, which recharges your knives more quickly when you get solar ability kills, which is a lot of fun. You can run whatever you want grenade wise. Personally, I like to run incendiary grenade. If you want to be a meme boy, you can be a trip mine master. And the other thing to be very important to run on this build is make sure you're running Gambler's Dodge, or when you actually miss your knives like I do quite often. Of course, it'll give you your knives back. And you want to see later on in the build how you can take even more advantage of Gambler's Dodge. One of the important things to note is that class ability cooldowns are tied into the actual stats for specific class. Warlocks are rifts are based on recovery, Titans walls are based on their resilience, and of course hunters dodge recharge is based on mobility. Now you can actually spec into as much mobility as possible, and I'm gonna give you a good idea, at least PvE wise, which one thing that will help you if you cannot spec into resilience, but if you spec into mobility and recovery. The quicker, the more you invest, the more time you have for your ability cooldown. I am currently at tier 5. If I had a masterwork piece of armor, I would be better. A couple masterwork pieces of armor or better armor, the mobility category, I would actually have an 18-second cooldown. That's actually pretty good. So for the most part, you want to make sure this is as low as possible. You want your mobility to be as high as possible, give you your cooldowns quicker, because you're going to be a dodgy boy all over the place. In terms of weapons, I am running a pulse rifle just so I can get anti-barrier ranger on there. You can run a scout rifle, bow, whatever floats your boat. The next important thing with this build is 1-2 punch. 1-2 punch is your best friend here. Hitting an enemy with every pellet in a shot increases melee damage for a short duration. You're going to take advantage of this greatly because when you pair this with Solar Plexus in the artifact mod slot, in the last column, costs 6 energy. It's a real beefy boy in terms of cost. Increases the damage of all solar melee abilities, as I stated earlier. Now, to make sure that you can play with this as best as you can, don't mind the seasonal mod slot here. I was trying to figure out if I could see a seasonal mod in here, and it didn't work out. I'm not running anything particular on the helmet, but on the gloves, I am making sure that I'm running enhanced impact induction. Causing damage with a melee attack greatly reduces your grenade cooldown, which you're going to be doing a lot of anyway, because that counts with your knives, and because your knives do multiple hits. Since it hits 3 times, you actually get that energy as well. On the chest, I am running Breach Resonator. It grants melee and grenade energy on final blows using your anti-barrier weapon, which pulse. This pulse is killer. If you can play the raid, you can farm the raid. If you can get one with outlaw kill clip, it is absolutely bonkers. I probably should be running a small bore here. I'm gonna run small bore. Yeah, I'm on PC. I don't care about recoil. When I'm playing on PC, on console though, I will run arrowhead break. But since I'm on PC, small bore is the way it is. You can run whatever you want on heavy. It's whatever. One of the cool things you can do on here is if you wanted to run something different in your energy slot, and you wanted to run like a machine gun on heavy and want to run heavy ammo finder so you can get more heavy, lead from gold is a really good perk that you can get on the Gallant charge, or line in the sand as well. Lead from gold is actually one of the best perks out there. So every time you pick up a heavy ammo, you also get special weapon ammo. Especially if you're having trouble like me sometimes actually finding ammo. Nothing particular I'm running on boots, but of course the class mod. Running Solar Plexus. I'm not going to describe it again. And finally, hands on. Hands on is still great. What are you going to be doing? You're going to be throwing knives, melee kills, melee energy, synergy here. It is absolutely amazing. Now let me give you some reasons for why I ended up picking Way of 1,000 Cuts. If you take a look at some of this footage here, you can see that Knife Trick on its own per knife does 11,661 damage to Greg. Now Knife Trick with 1-2 punch, because it technically boosts the damage of your next melee attack, and by using Knife Trick you're doing 3 knives. The first knife does 30,318 damage. The subsequent knives do 10,106 damage and 23,321 damage. That comes to a total of 63,745 per 3 crits for the most part with each Knife Trick. Now if you wanted to run top tree Way of the Outlaw, your base heavy knife actually does 18,046 damage. Now heavy knife plus 1-2 punch does 54,138 damage, and it doesn't come around as often as a Knife Trick with playing with fire times 3. Even if you account for, oh, I'll have some dodges, say you're out of dodges, even when you have your dodges, you can do more DPS with Knife Trick than you can with heavy knife. So that is why I picked that. Let me know what you guys think down below. I want to keep this video short and sweet. I didn't want to drag it on too long. Let's get the information out there. This is a very, very fun hunter build. I can't figure out what I want to call it yet, but make sure you check out Solar Plexus. It's actually one of the better mods this season. I will try to have a Titan build out pretty soon as well. So guys, thank you for watching. Hope you guys have a great evening.